Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator. And my soon-to-be born baby is now at 32 weeks today. So that's great news for everyone to digest and enjoy. And my controller apparently died. Seriously? This thing was just working like a minute ago. I just changed this battery like literally just not very long. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. God, only downside of wireless controllers, batteries. Damn it. I need like those. I need those classic Energizer rechargeable batteries, or like the pink one, or like the kind of purpley pink ones that you got from Radio Shack that came with the weird little thing that you'd plug into the wall to recharge them. That thing was tight. That's what we really need. Oh, but it is. No, it is. No, we're gonna get one. No. Yes, we are. I'm the man of the house. Hey, yo! Hey! Asserted male of the house move #1.
Yeah, and who cooks the dinner?
But who steals the sheets in the middle of the night? Hey!
It's gonna be hard for me to steal the sheets in the middle of the night if I have.
And then you'd be going to jail for murder.
If they can hit it on me.
They could. Because this video will be on the internet. Oh, but it will. It will be there for all to see. Anywho, so now that sorry, that was I think that was a little bit overdone. And now I'm in reverse. I have spun out, and I am not in first place anymore. But that is fine because I will reassert my dominance momentarily, as my car is absolutely way better than theirs, every conceivable possible way there is. So let's talk about a couple of things. The second thing will be the more important data heavy part of it. The first part of it, I heard about it the other day and I thought it was disgusting, and well, this is my place to talk about stuff like that. And it's locationally relevant because it happened in Oregon, and hey, we all know that Oregon's kind of a hotbed for weird shit. So apparently, and I guess this is only like the 11th case of this in United States history, I guess, according to the article that I read. But there was a lady, like a 28-year-old woman in Oregon, that went to the doctor and had to have 14 eye worms removed. And I don't mean eye worms as in something that was made by the Apple company. That's their new hot item for the 2018 calendar year. Eye worms. You can actually make your own computer viruses to fuck up your friends. That actually would be kind of tight, like a cool April Fool's joke. You've been infected by eye worms, motherfucker. No, this lady went into the doctor and they had to remove all these little tiny, really super gross worms out of her eye socket. And it was disgusting. I think just the premise of having living things in your eye that are worm-shaped that came there from an outside source is absolutely disgusting. And I mean, I already have a massive phobia of anything being in my eyes after I got a giant bark chip that went straight down into my eye, like down this way. I think I've told you guys that story plenty of times, I'm pretty sure. But for those of you that are new, I'll give you a TLDR thing here. And basically, I was at my brother's baseball game when I was little, and I was on the playground, and there was a dust devil, and I ran right through it. And in the midst of that, a giant bark chip about this long went straight down into my eye, and it scared the living shit out of me. And I ran back to my dad, and he saw it, and even his face made it even worse. He just went, oh damn. And then he pulled it out, and my vision is still 20/20, and that's great. So that makes me happy. Yeah, for now, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get worse. No surprise there. So, but yeah, dude, 14 eye worms is disgusting. And, you know, they were trying to figure out what it could have possibly come from. And, you know, I think they were saying it could have, you know, they were speculating it could have come from like a fly that rested on her eye. because, you know, flies just shit out eggs and stuff. They shit out worms and eggs and all sorts of crazy matter out of their you know, butt cavities at an alarming pace. I actually saw a video of that just yesterday. It was like a high quality microscope. They zoomed in on a fly when it lands on like any given surface. If it stops moving for any period of time, it literally just, it's just, they all just kind of slide out of there. It's so nasty. So, ugh.
That is why I am a clean freak.
Uh-huh.
I will not touch
Mm-hmm.
any
So, that's that. Now, let's divert away from that and move into the much more awesome thing, I suppose. It's up for interpretation to a point, but so my bachelor party was a couple of weeks ago. It was, I believe, exactly a week before. It was 6 days before my wedding. And I go into work on Saturday, and you know, all the guys apparently were there. They basically kidnapped me from work. I walked into the front office. My dad had called me in early. He's like, hey, I need you to come in early so you can help me finish up the order. And so I was like, all right, that's fine. And I got into work, and I had noticed that one of my friend's cars was parked out at the back of the store. And I was like, what the fuck? What's his car doing here? Why? First of all, why is he here? And why is he back here, among all other things? And I walked in, and I went in to, you know, put all my stuff away, and I walk into the office back there, and all the guys are just like back there, and they surprise me, and they kidnapped me from work. I ended up not having to work that day, and we drove over to the coast. We went to the outlet mall, and I got to, you know, pick up a new White Sox hat, super tight, and a new pair of shoes, which is also super tight because my other pair literally just about split in half and came off while we were there. And so I was super down with that. And then we went over to the coast, and I guess everybody had rented out this super sick, like, 3-story beach house that's like right over by the water. And we stayed there for the night. And you know, we just decided to do it up big. We, you know, had a whole bunch of bottles of alcohol, and we made AMFs, and we, you know, played beer pong, and we went to one of the barcades that's down in Lincoln City called Game Over. It was actually super tight. And then things got kind of weird. So, and no, I do not mean in the vein of like prostitutes and stuff. My brother's not gonna, you know, do that to me. But so we're there, and we're hanging out. We had just gotten all of our stuff in, and, you know, we were drinking. You know, we ordered pizzas, and we were just gonna, you know, kind of hang out at the beach house for a while before we decided to go, you know, out and go to some bars and stuff, and you know, just see what kind of a small, you know, beach faring town has to offer, you know, late at night on a Saturday. And so we're hanging out, playing we're playing some beer pong, and then Matt stops the whole thing, and he's like, hey, let's go up to the master bedroom, because the master bedroom had enough open wall space that we could put the projector up there. And he's like, I've got something that I want to show everybody. And so we go in there, and he had like this special slideshow put together of just like all of this random video shit that he's compiled of me over the last, like, you know, 10 or 15 years of us knowing each other. Which luckily, the one video of me crumping out in the parking lot of McNary Golf Course to Bubba Sparks's Miss New Booty was not one of those things, thank God. Somehow that got lost in the tragic internet fire of 20 whatever, and I'm okay with that. Even though somewhere in the midst of that, of my crumping madness, I managed to do this incredibly amazing fluid move where, in the middle of my gyration fest, I managed to, like, bend down and, like, grabbed my shirt, like, right here. I grabbed my shirt with one hand, and I ripped it all the way off over my head in this one perfect fluid motion, and I threw it off, and it was really, really funny. And then I did like the cowboy thing where you wave, you know, you do this whole deal. It was ridiculous. So we did the whole slideshow thing. It was tight. And then right after it was over, I'm sitting here drinking a beer, and he's like, "All right, before the rest of the night goes on, we've got one more thing that needs to happen, and so we need you to close your eyes completely and put something over your face so that you can't see it, and we'll be right back." And so I put something over my eyes, and Spencer and Matt leave, and they come back, and they're like, "All right, so this is something that you're going to be wearing for the remainder of the night, and there is no negotiating on this. It's just going to happen." And as soon as they said that, I was like, "Oh God, what kind of bullshit headwear am I going to be stuck with?" And so they put it on, and it's the very second that they put it on, while my eyes are still covered, I knew right away it was a helmet. It was a bike helmet. And so after that, they had me stand up and walk into the bathroom. And they're like, "We want you to see this, but we need the perfect reaction. So we're gonna slowly lead you to the bathroom, and then, you know, we'll let you open your eyes in front of the mirror, and you can see it." So they get me in there, and they had me open my eyes, and as soon as I opened my ocular devices, I realized that these motherfuckers literally put a dildo helmet on me. And it was just this huge ass, like, veiny, triumphant bastard with like these super awkward, like, way too spaced out balls for some reason. And it was like, it was perfectly situated that it looked like a unicorn horn. It was like just right up in the front. And I'll put a picture of it up right now so you can see it, just because I'm not fucking lying.
Oh, I'm already there, people.
Oh, you're gonna show them in the webcam part?
Oh, yeah.
All right. She's gonna put it up right here, so focus your eyes right here. Yeah. Oh. It's super, super bad. But, so, I had to wear that thing on my head for the entire rest of the night, for the entirety of us being at the house.
That is him. No joke.
No, you can't really tell. He was
actually sitting there fondling.
Okay, I was not fondling it.
He looked a little too comfortable with that cock in his hand.
Here's the thing. It turned, like, I had to get over the social anxiety of having a dick on top of my head for way more hours than was, you know, humanly acceptable. And so, you know, we were playing beer pong at one point against Matt and Colby. My brother and I were. And I figured, you know, in beer pong, it's customary to try to find ways to distract the other people from scoring and, you know, getting the ball in the cup. And so, what did I decide to do? I decided, hey, you know what? I've got all the power here. So I go down like this to get like as level with the table as I could, and I just put my hand on the dick and I just started going like this.
Started jacking it off.
And they're just like, dude, you can't. It's like, hey, you brought this on yourself. If you're gonna make me wear this fucking eyesore, then at least I have all the power in what happens from here.
Be thankful I did not show you a picture of you and Matt.
Huh? Oh God, yeah. There was a picture that our friend Austin took. He took the majority of these, where I was going for a piece of pizza that was on the stove, and Matt was sitting in a chair, and the dildo was sitting on the counter, and so in like this perfectly angled picture of just like, you know, depth perception, it totally looks like I'm blowing Matt. It was really funny. And he's making this face where it's like he likes it. Yeah, yeah, Matt's making this face where he's sitting back in the chair just going, oh! It was great. And so after this, you know, we decided, you know, we want to go out to some bars, and I was like, please tell me I don't have to wear this out to the bars. They're like, oh no, you have to. You have no choice. And so so the first place we were going to go to this karaoke bar that we took an Uber there. And for whatever reason, they decided to have us go in through the back door, which I guess was, you know, momentarily an okay thing. They had us going through the back door, and I had a genius idea. I was like, you know what? If this place is going to have a lot of people in it, maybe I can kind of sort of hide what's going on by putting my baseball hat on top of it. And so we walk in there, and I put my baseball hat on top of the dildo, and it's just flopping around like crazy. And I kid you not, this place was full. I mean, this was a decent-sized bar, and it was full. And it was like the kind of thing that could only happen in a movie, where I walk in, and, you know, we walked in right by the karaoke stage, and as soon as I, you know, got far enough in, everybody in the room did one of these. Outside of the people that were doing karaoke, they all just went and looked directly at me. That was one of the most anxiety-laden moments of my entire life. I had sunglasses on though, which kind of made it look a little bit more like I like I was in like a special needs sort of situation and they were all playing a prank on me. But I walked in and I was like, I at the very least need to not be able to see these people. And so I was in there just the entire time with the giant, you know, dick helmet on. And there was an older lady that was up at the front counter, and she asked if I was a dickhead. She's like, so what's your deal? Are you a dickhead? And I was like, yes. Tonight I am, I guess. And then she just took her beer and walked away and then, like, scoffed at me. She just like, pfft, you know? I was like, what the hell? Then we went to this other bar that was right across the street after I, you know, felt fully humiliated as a man for a while. We walked into this other place, and as soon as we walked in there were a lot less people, but they were way more interactive with me, and they walked up to me and they're like, hey, so, is that one the same size as you? There was a guy that asked me that, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. It was actually plaster mold of my own. And then there were like a couple of girls that walked up, and they were like, oh, that's interesting. that was the best response. They're like, so you're obviously the groom to be, right? And I was like, well, yeah. And they're like, huh, well, that's interesting. It was really funny. They're like, so whose idea was it for you to have to come out wearing this whole get-up? And I was like, my brother and the rest of the guys. And she's like, that's kind of messed up, actually. She's like, I mean, it's funny, but I feel really bad for you because that's kind of fucked up. And I was like, yeah, it really is. And so hung out there for a while, and after a while, people coming in would just kind of look at me and chuckle and walk away. After that, we decided to walk all the way back to the house, which was like a mile and a half away. And I was just walking down the street the entire rest of the time, just waving at cars while this dong is just flopping around like this. And oh man, it was just a nightmare. It was nightmare incarnate. But it was a lot of fun though. I really thoroughly enjoyed the entire thing. It was super cool. We just hung out. This house actually had an elevator in it too. It was just like a regular 3-story house, but it had a built-in elevator in it, which was super cool. Outside of the premise that if that thing broke down, we were screwed. Because I mean, who's gonna come and repair that thing in the middle of the night, you know? But there were also like kayaks that we could take out on the water if we wanted to, and like pedal boats and stuff. The whole thing was fucking nuts. I guess we looked it up on Zillow to see what the house was worth, and apparently the house was worth like $900,000. The thing was super ridiculous, and so I can say at one point in my life I almost stayed. You okay?
Ow!
Contractions. Yikes. She's on preterm labor watch right now, so we gotta keep an eye on it.
Who feels like catching? Ow!
It's gonna be me. I mean, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. So, yeah, I can say at one point in my life, I almost stayed a night in a $1 million house. I missed it by 100K. But, hey, you know what? It was cool. And with that said, I was only, like, barely hungover. Like, I was just tired, more or less. Because the bed that I slept in was meant for a 10-year-old and not for a 30-year-old. And
you're mentally 10, does that count?
Yes, it does. So that was that. So with that, my friends, I just wanted to give you a little insight on my evening that I spent. It was a blast. And with that, when we come back next time and let's play some more Gran Turismo 3, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, we are going to come back and do some more of the Clio Cup, as we're doing really, really well so far, and I don't foresee it changing for any reason. So until then, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, and my lovely wife, who's in an immense amount of pain, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.